I'm Dr. Ford, and a lot of times I get asked what foods cause inflammation. Inflammation is a big term for a lot of different physiological processes, and there's not really foods that reduce inflammation. So if you're wanting to counteract inflammation, inflammatory processes can be hormonal. It also can be through different neuroimmunological reactions like prostaglandins or eicosanoids. Again, this is not, I have certain classes and personal interest in it. It's not my specialty. Yet when all my brain goes to is when people say I have an anti-inflammatory diet. I also want to ask, well, what other things are you doing to reduce the stress response? Mental, emotional, rest, sleep, liquid, drugs, alcohol. It's not just taking a bunch of omega-3s. So omega-3s are called anti-inflammatory fatty acids because they can contribute to a non-inflammatory response, which is typically your omega-6s, which is where people say seed oils are inflammatory. The polyunsaturated fatty acids typically comes from sources like flaxseed oil, walnuts, seafood, and that comes from the plankton or the algae or the seaweed in the water, which that's what the fish eat. So fish have more omega-3s, and so they can be beneficial for also brain health and prevention of neurodegenerative diseases, and anti-inflammatory processes. And so, for instance, they can be contraindicated, however, if you're getting a surgical procedure, because when you have surgery and you make a cut, you want inflammatory processes to happen, like blood clotting. You want the body to respond in an inflammatory way. You don't want continuous bleeding. And so literally before an elective surgery, like a C-section, if it's elective, or anything where there's going to be cut tissue, they recommend no cod liver oil or anything with omega-3 fatty acids because we want the inflammatory process to work naturally. So it's really interesting when anti-inflammatory or I want to decrease inflammation becomes the pedestal or the idol, because inflammation is actually a really good thing. It can really get rid of some things that we don't want and don't want the body to happen. So to have an anti-inflammatory diet, I'm assuming what most people are talking about is eating foods that are going to be beneficial for your health. So, okay, that can be, there's so many foods that could be beneficial for your health, right? And it depends upon what your definition of health is. And it depends upon your starting point. And so it's just like a GPS system. There are a million different ways to get to, I live on the West Coast, to get to the East Coast. But what's the route you're going to take and what is your goal? Is it efficiency? Is it sightseeing? Is it time? Is it money? And so your goal of health, how do you want to get there and how you do it is so dependent upon the car that you drive and the access of fuel and all these different things. So is there an anti-inflammatory diet that's best? I would say, I don't really have an answer. It's an impossible question. But there are foods that have more omega-3s, and there are foods that don't cause inflammation compared to other foods. And that would be the answer that I have. That's probably annoying. Nutrition can be very gray. It also can be very black and white, but when you involve a black or white scientific process into the human experience, it doesn't become black or white. It becomes very gray. It becomes very individualized, and it's really hard to answer for the masses. And that's why I love my practice, is we really take into account science, but also people's story, also people's perspective, and people's readiness to change. And everyone's at a different part in their chapters. Okay, I hope this helps.